Hello and welcome to St. Augustine. My name is Amber Shah. I'm the Shah of St. Augustine, the queen of living the dream, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to my channel. Today, we're going to have an episode on real estate relocation to St. Augustine, Florida. I'm here to guide you through the exciting journey of moving to this beautiful city. Let me share a little bit about my background. I grew up as an Air Force brat, which means that I moved a whopping 19 times throughout my whole life so far. And I've lived in various places across the US and Europe. And this experience has given me a unique perspective on what it's like to relocate and adapt to new environments. I've also developed a deep love for traveling internationally, which has broadened my horizons and enriched my understanding of different cultures. 4 years ago, I made the move to St. Augustine from the Boston area. So let me tell you, it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. The charm, history, and vibrant community of St. Augustine truly captured my heart. As a realtor here now, with almost 2 years of experience, I've had the pleasure of helping several families relocate from outside of state into Florida. Each journey has been super special, and I'm passionate about making the process as seamless as possible for my clients. My goal is not just to help you find a house, but also help you find a home in a community where you can grow and enjoy your life and live the dream life. I want to show you the incredible benefits of living in St. Augustine, from its stunning beaches and rich history to the welcoming atmosphere that makes it feel like home. So if you're considering making St. Augustine your new home, you're in the right place. Join me as we explore everything this amazing city has to offer and how I can assist you in your relocation journey. Let's get started. One thing that I absolutely love about St. Augustine is its historic and long history and charm. It's the oldest continuously inhabited city in the United States. It was founded in 1565 by the Spanish explorer Pedro Menendez de Aviles and also Ponce de Leon. So Ponce de Leon and Pedro Menendez have a really rich history that sets it apart from any other city in the whole country. And being from the Boston area and relocating here to St. Augustine, I actually am from Lynn, Massachusetts, which is very close to Salem, Massachusetts. And St. Augustine has a lot of Salem vibes. So as you walk through the streets, you can truly feel the history surrounding you. St. Augustine is filled with beautiful architecture that reflects its Spanish colonial roots. And one of the most iconic landmarks here is the fort, the Castillo de San Marcos. It's a 17th century fort that has stood the test of time. It used to be surrounded by a moat. In fact, every time it rains, usually water will accumulate in the moat that used to be there. The Castillo fortress is really magnificent. It not only offers stunning views of the waterfront, but also provides a glimpse into the city's military history. And you can go explore its thick coquina walls and enjoy reenactments and learn about the battles that shaped this city. In fact, I was downtown just walking around with my friend who was just visiting and passing through, and we were able to catch some of the cannons being fired off, as you can see here. And another highlight is the historic district, where you can stroll along the charming cobblestone streets lined with vibrant shops, art galleries, cafes, churches and historical landmarks like the nation's oldest school, or the first school, or the oldest wooden schoolhouse, whatever it's called. It's the perfect place to soak in the local culture while enjoying some delicious dining options. From fresh seafood to quaint bistros, there's something to satisfy every palate. Columbia is a very well-known restaurant downtown. Pizzali's or Pizza Alley, I don't know how you just say it. But St. Augustine isn't just about history, it's also alive with celebration. The city hosts numerous local festivals throughout the year, such as the St. Augustine Film Festival. The Nights of Lights are where the streets sparkle with beautiful lights during the holiday season between November all the way through the end of January, and these events truly bring the community together and create a lively atmosphere that you don't want to miss. We had the Florida Man games here last year downtown, and then this year they were held a little bit down the street, but still in St. Johns County at the Elkton Fairgrounds. Next year, I'm not sure where they're going to have it. We had the Seafood Festival downtown. There's the Sing Out Loud Festival, and we also have some stunning beaches. St. Augustine boasts miles of beautiful coastline, perfect for sunbathing, swimming, and water sports, whether you prefer the bustling energy of the St. Augustine Beach or the serene beauty of Anastasia State Park. There's a beach for everyone. Anastasia Island is an island that hangs off of St. Augustine, and it's considered St. Augustine Beach. And from the northeast side of the island all the way down to the southeast side of the island, it's pretty much lined with an entire beach that is miles long, over 10 miles long. And at the top, you start with St. Augustine Beach, passing down through Crescent Beach and then Butler Beach, and then Marineland, all the way down there. So gorgeous. With its rich history, charming streets, vibrant art scene, and delicious food, St. Augustine offers a unique blend of old world charm and modern living. It's a city that welcomes you with open arms and invites you to explore its many treasures. We have tons of Airbnbs here. In fact, I stayed at a house that was the fourth house down from the beach in the middle of the island. And it was an Airbnb house that was owned by some people from New Jersey. Wanted to buy the house, but it was a little bit outside of my budget. Honestly, like not even that much. So I was really surprised that I could have almost bought that house if they wanted to sell it. But they had only owned it for like a year, so unfortunately they didn't have any interest in selling it yet. But that was amazing. It was really nice to stay in that house. In fact, I almost moved to Northport, Florida before I moved to St. Augustine, but then that is a town in Florida that is on the Gulf side and down past Tampa. So I was considering moving there, and right before I moved there, they got red tide, and then they said that I wasn't able to swim in the beach. And I said, well, if I can't go to the beach, I'm not going to go to the Gulf side, so I'm going to go to the Atlantic side. And then I also had noticed that Northport, Florida was in Sarasota County, and in Sarasota County, they were rated number 2 school district in the state at that time in 2021. And I was like, well, if they're number 2, who's number 1? St. Augustine. St. Johns County was number 1. That's why I ended up moving here, was because the school system was number 1. And I believe that right now it might be number 2. Because I believe that the Nassau County, which is just north of us, up near Amelia Island area, is number 1 right now. But we still have great, great schools here too, which is why I love this place. Now that we've explored the charm and history of St. Augustine, let's talk about why relocating here is such a fantastic decision. First and foremost, the quality of life in St. Augustine is exceptional. With a warm Mediterranean climate, you can almost always enjoy sunny days all year round, making it perfect for outdoor activities and family fun. The community here has a welcoming feel where neighbors become friends, and you truly get that small town vibe in a beautiful coastal setting. St. Augustine is also experiencing significant economic growth. Local businesses are booming and job opportunities are expanding in areas like tourism, education, and healthcare. In fact, they just opened a new facility for the St. Augustine University for Health Sciences right down the street, and that is looking beautiful. The families here for St. Augustine have offerings of family-friendly environmental areas where some of the top-rated schools in Florida are around here. As I had previously mentioned, one of the reasons why I ended up coming here. Education is a priority. In St. Augustine, we have, as I had previously mentioned, the St. Augustine University and the Health Sciences Division, various divisions, but also Flagler College is here, which took over the Ponce de Leon Hotel that was downtown, which is one of the most famous landmarks in downtown. You can walk around Flagler College a little bit as a guest, but it is an active college, so you can't go in just anywhere all willy-nilly, which is one thing that I did try to do when I moved here, and I got kicked out of one particular, I don't know, hallway or whatever, and they were like, oh, this is for students only, and I was like, oh, okay. So at first I was like, oops, but then I was like, well, good thing they have good security, so I know that if my kids went there, then they would have good security. But while the real estate market in Florida has seen some fluctuations, St. Augustine remains relatively stable and less elastic compared to the rest of the state. It makes it a great investment for those looking to buy a home for themselves or an investment property. For families, St. Augustine offers a family-friendly environment, and you can find some really fun places to go like Sarbez, or we have tons of public parks, and each park is unique. So depending on what you're looking for in your park, you can find Treaty Park, which is one of the biggest skate parks around. They also have pickleball courts there too. There are tons of dog parks around. So if you're a dog parent, if you're looking for recreational activities, this city boasts tons of programs. We provide different options for family-oriented activities. You can have a day at the park. You could participate in activities for athletic programs like soccer, football, baseball, swimming, surfing. They could have family nights out at the bowling alley. We love the bowling alley over here. There's something for everyone. St. Augustine truly has it all. We're going to be opening a skating rink soon because I'm part of the skate group around here too. I like to roller skate and rollerblade, and somebody in our group just leased a building, and they're going to be opening a skate park right next to Sarbez, actually, on the island there. So it's an excellent place for educational opportunities and an array of recreational opportunities that cater to families and individuals alike. If you're looking for a place that combines quality living with a friendly atmosphere, St. Augustine is the perfect choice for your next home. I've been a lot of places, and I still enjoy leaving St. Augustine from time to time, but I love coming home to St. Augustine. Now that we've discussed why St. Augustine is such a fantastic place to live, let's dive into the relocation process itself. Moving can be a big task, but with the right steps, it can be as smooth as silk and an enjoyable experience. First, let's talk about logistics. Finding a new home is obviously a top priority. As your relocation expert, I can help you navigate the various neighborhoods in St. Augustine, each catering to different lifestyles and budgets. For families, neighborhoods like Entrada, Beach Walk, and Nocatee offer fantastic amenities and a great community feel. The Trailmark neighborhood is also beautiful, providing a serene environment with plenty of outdoor activities and tons of green space. Additionally, the developments around World Golf Village are stunning and perfect for those who enjoy a little luxury. Once you've chosen the right neighborhood, it's time to think about packing and moving your belongings. I personally used pods when I relocated here and compared them to the similar products that were offered by U-Haul and another product that I can't remember anymore, but it was very similar to pods, which made me get a lot of stress relief, and it really made the process so much easier. You could also use options like hiring movers or renting a truck or using storage facilities if you need temporary space. Each option has pros and cons, so consider what works best for your situation. I love writing things down. I get a little bit nerdy and put them into Excel spreadsheets. You could even just use Google Sheets if you don't pay for Excel. Don't forget about the resources available to newcomers in general. You could research local services, utilities, and schools, and that can make your transition easier too. So if you wanted to pick a school that you thought was best for you, there are community groups and websites. Facebook can provide valuable information about social events and activities. Websites like meetup.com and Eventbrite are fantastic for finding local events and connecting with others in the community. Neighborhood.com, I believe, is another one, or Neighborly. And don't underestimate the power of social media. The Facebook groups can be a wonderful resource for finding local recommendations and getting to know your new neighbors. You could even join some of these groups that help you just research the area. Relocating can seem overwhelming, but with the careful planning that you could get with the right professional and the right resources, you can make your move to St. Augustine a breeze. I'm here to help you every step of the way, ensuring you find not just a house, but a place that you can call home. Here you can see the new Treaty Oaks prep that is being opened up right across from the Enclave neighborhood in Treaty Oaks area, which is right near the Treaty Park. And they have some really awesome charter school options going up here at Treaty Oaks Preparatory Academy. They are going to have these fun pods, and it's going to be K through 6 next year in 2025 to 2026 school year. And then the following year, they're going to add 7th grade. And then that next year, they're going to add 8th grade. That'll be it, going K to 8 at Treaty Oaks Prep Academy, which is right around the corner from another prep school. I think it's Christian Academy of some sort. And then there's also Otis Mason Elementary School that is located right near there too. And that is a top school in this area. All the schools around here are really great, and I love the administration. I've had my kids in these schools for a few years now, and I really enjoy it. No complaints. Now, let's dive into some valuable real estate insights for anyone considering relocating to St. Augustine. Understanding the current market trends is key to making informed decisions. In the month of April 2025, the average price of the homes sold in St. Augustine was $545,000. Homes selling relatively quickly with an average of just 39 days on the market before they close. So if you think that people are making a 1-month long offer or 2-week long offers, you're right. Here in St. Augustine, that is still true. There is some wiggle room sometimes, but it totally depends on the seller and the motivation of the seller. During last month, we saw 139 new listings hit the market, but there were also 85 closings, indicating a healthy level of activity in the market. So in Florida, we've seen some fluctuations. The market continues to present great opportunities in St. Augustine, and while prices may vary, you can still find homes across various price ranges. Entry-level homes here start at around $275,000, and that can fit your needs and your budget. There are tons of super expensive houses. Obviously, everybody is willing to take all your money. But for out-of-state buyers, navigating the buying process from a distance can feel daunting. I'm here to help. I love haggling. I've been at marketplaces and bazaars all over the world ever since I was little, And one of the best ways to explore homes remotely is through virtual tours. So I make videos of virtual tours. They provide great opportunities and views to the properties without having to travel. It allows you to get a great feel for each of the homes and the neighborhoods. I'm also familiar with remote closings. I've already done 3, and it can make the process even more convenient for you. As your local expert, I can assist you with everything from home searches to understanding local regulations and differences between Florida and your current state. I'm actually going to Colorado this summer. And remember, while the market is competitive, there are still plenty of opportunities to find your dream home in St. Augustine. I'll also be up in New England this summer too. With your support and with my help and my expertise locally, you can navigate the buying process from start to finish, ensuring a smooth transition to your new home here. So if you're ready to explore the St. Augustine real estate market, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help you every step of the way. I bought a house here 4 years ago, knowing absolutely nothing about the area. And it took me about 1 month to get pretty well acclimated. And I have a spreadsheet that I still keep to this day with 53 houses listed on this spreadsheet, and I have all the pricing and the HOA fees. So something that you might be new to in Florida is HOAs, and for me, coming from Massachusetts, I was very unfamiliar with HOAs unless it was a condo fee. So if you are familiar with condo fees, HOAs are similar a little bit to condo fees in that they roll into your mortgage most of the time. And then we also have CDDs here. So some neighborhoods have CDDs, and that was something also that I was unfamiliar with. And we have some neighborhoods that are HOA free, some neighborhoods that have an HOA but have no CDD, some neighborhoods that have both an HOA and a CDD. And then you want to take a look at like what kind of amenities that you want to have inside your community. If you want to be in a community, it's very likely that you're going to pay an HOA. And if you want things like a gym and pool, then that will probably also be included in your HOA. Some neighborhoods do have a CDD. It's a community development deposit or something like that. And that is similar to taxation for your neighborhood. And that would be for like roads, if you have like a big neighborhood, because around here, like say, for example, Nocatee has a CDD, and some other neighborhoods that are up in the World Golf Village area have CDDs too. And I'm looking at one right now. I have the address here, but I can't remember the name of the neighborhood because it was one of the ones that I was seriously considering moving to on Porta Rosa, near World Golf Village. And in the, I know that Nocatee has CDDs, and there's St. Augustine Lakes also has CDDs, and Entrada has CDDs. So then I was selling a condo to a beautiful couple, and they were coming from New Hampshire, and the neighborhood that was near them had a CDD of around $4,000 a year, and they had a beautiful pool too and an amenity center. And I wanted to see if they could go ahead and use the amenities that were available in the neighborhood, because you could see it from their window, but you could not use it because it was a different development. But the development was owned by the same developer. So they did offer for the condo owners to pay the $4,000 a year in the CDD if they wanted to use the gym and things like that. But I told them that it was probably better off if they just went ahead and got a gym membership. Honestly, I think it'd be cheaper if they just went to the Y. But again, they did have the option. So I got that information for them, and I made sure that they knew that they could do that. And I made this fun note area in my spreadsheet here, and I was making notes to myself a long time ago, like 2 different houses here smelled like pee. So one of my friends was actually going to move here from South Carolina, and he was going to go down to the Space Coast area because he was an aeronautical engineer. So I was helping him look at some houses in Titusville and the Merritt Island area. And I was telling him, if you want me to go down and check out these houses, just give me a list of them, because I could do the sniff test, because I don't want you to have to come all the way down here to check out a house because you really like it. Maybe you really like the videos too that we see that are listed from the listing agent. But once you walk in there and it smells really bad, then you might know that you might not want that, right? Because covering up that smell usually will require complete restoration and all that good stuff. And some of these virtual videos that we make also can help describe the neighborhood feel in general. I actually have another note here for another house that I saw, and I just said, don't like the neighborhood. Kind of cute. No backyard at all. So I need a backyard because I have a dog, so I want to be able to let my dog out. But it's funny because actually now my dog doesn't even go out in my backyard. He only wants to go out in the front. But that's okay. But I still need, for me, I want to have a house with a yard. So if that's something that you need, then we can find that for you. I actually had a customer recently, and he had a VA loan, and he had like no deposit, and he just needed a yard for his dogs, and he needed it to be fenced in because he was a disabled vet, so he couldn't be chasing the dogs all over the place, and he didn't want to have to install a fence, because installing a fence can cost around $5,000, maybe between $5,000 and $10,000 these days, depending on what kind of fence you get. So we ended up getting him a house, and he wanted a house also with a garage. So we had to work with his budget, and we had to work with his needs and his wants and his desires to find the house of his dreams. And that was so fun. I'm really happy about that. It worked out really well. As we talk about relocating to St. Augustine, I believe that hearing from those who have made the move can be incredibly valuable. Let me share some testimonials and success stories from clients that I've had the pleasure of helping find their new homes here. First, I want to highlight a wonderful couple who moved here from Maine. They closed on their home in April, and it was such a joy to assist them through the entire process. They were thrilled to find a place that felt like home, and it's been rewarding to see them getting to settle in to the community. I'm proud to say that all of my reviews on Google are 5-star ratings. Customers and clients often mention how I make the process easier and less stressful for them. For example, I worked closely with a customer moving from New Hampshire who was looking for a second home to become a snowbird. I created a virtual tour for them and allowed them to explore properties from afar, making it simple for them to find the perfect place without needing to travel. Thanks to those virtual tours, they were able to confidently purchase a beautiful condo that suits their needs perfectly. It stores everything that they need whenever they need it. And it's situations like these that remind me why I love what I do. Another family I assisted relocated from South Carolina. They were looking for a fresh start, and they were drawn to the vibrant lifestyle in Palatka. They loved the trees out there, and I guided them through their home search. We went up to Jacksonville, and ultimately we were able to ensure that they found a beautiful neighborhood that fit their family's needs and lifestyle in Satsuma in Putnam County. These testimonials reflect my commitment to making the relocation process as seamless as possible. As someone who suffers from anxiety, I know that there are so many things to worry about, so I'm here to set your mind at ease. And with my 6 5-star reviews on Google so far, I strive to provide exceptional service to every client I work with. And if you're considering moving to St. Augustine, or getting a new home here. I'd love to help you write your own success story. Let's work together and find the perfect place for you and your family. Reach out today and get started on your journey to St. Augustine. As we wrap up our exploration of relocating to St. Augustine, I wanted to take a moment to invite you to reach out for a personalized consultation or property search. Whether you're looking for your dream home or just have any questions about the area, I'm here to help. I'm looking into getting my tour guide license, and I absolutely love showing people around. Visit my website, Linktree-Amber Shah, for more information on available properties, local insights, and resources to assist you in your relocation. You can also connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, here on YouTube for the latest updates, tips, and behind the scenes looks at life here in St. Augustine. I encourage you to subscribe to my channel for more content about St. Augustine. You'll find videos showcasing some of the best restaurants, dining experiences, entertainment options, and local festivals that make this city so special. If you're considering making the move to St. Augustine, I would love to help you find your dream home here. Don't hesitate to get in touch if you have any questions or if there are any specific topics you'd like for me to cover in future videos. You can leave me a comment below or send me an email at shahofstaugustine@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. I'm excited to help you navigate your relocation to St. Augustine, and I can't wait to see you here. Let's make your dream of living in St. Augustine a reality. Before I let you go, I do want to answer some common questions about relocating to St. Augustine, Florida, including but not limited to, what is the cost of living in St. Augustine compared to other cities in Florida? The cost of living in St. Augustine is generally lower than in larger cities like Miami or Orlando, making it an attractive option for many. Housing costs can vary, but overall, you're finding a wide range of options that can fit different budgets and live comfortably in St. Augustine. What are housing market trends like in St. Augustine? Currently, the housing market is attractive with an average home price around $545,000. But the homes are selling faster. It's got an average of 39 days on the market from listing to closing. So if there was a 30-day offer, 2-week offer, you're looking at houses being on the market for about 2 weeks before they go under contract. And while there's been a slight decrease in prices recently, the demand remains steady here in St. Augustine, and a lot of sellers are not very flexible on their pricing, but it would definitely depend on the seller motivation, particularly for family-friendly neighborhoods. The neighborhoods around here, which ones are best for families, retirees, or young professionals? For families, neighborhoods like Entrada, Beach Walk, and Nocatee offer excellent amenities and school areas. Retirees often enjoy quieter areas like the Davis Shores or the St. Augustine Shores or beachfront property condos. Young professionals might prefer the downtown area for its vibrant nightlife and cultural activities. There are also tons of properties available for young professionals for rent that are on the island, that are right over the Bridge of Lions, so you can remain closer to downtown too. And what neighborhoods are best for the schools? There's the Treaty Oaks neighborhood right over here by the Otis Mason School. And then you've got anywhere near downtown is near the Catalinas or the St. Joseph's Academy. St. Augustine has several highly rated public and private schools. The St. Johns County School District is known for having strong academic performance, and families can also find private schools like St. Joe's that cater to various educational philosophies as well. The recreational activities, what kind of recreational activities and amenities are available in the area? St. Augustine is rich in recreational options, including all the beaches, parks, and hiking trails. The city also offers a variety of sports leagues, community events, and outdoor activities, such as boating and fishing. There are tons of public places to go fishing also. You could go to the St. Augustine Pier, and for a limited time, it's free to go fishing off the end of the pier. But when they did do the restoration of the pier and they dredged up all the sand, they covered up all the water that was underneath the pier. So they weren't able to go fishing under the pier for a while, but you might be able to go now. And the St. Johns County Recreation Department has a beautiful website where you can see tons of available options. And how is the job market in St. Augustine? What industries are growing? The job market around here is pretty diverse because we are a fully functioning city. The opportunities here focus around tourism, healthcare, education, and retail. The hospitality sector is particularly strong due to the city's popularity as a tourist destination as well. So the hotels are always hiring, restaurants are always hiring. And what is the climate around here year-round? St. Augustine enjoys a humid subtropical climate. So we have mild winters and hot summers. So you'd expect plenty of sunshine, making it ideal for outdoor activities year-round. But don't throw away your winter coat, because when I moved here, I did do so. I threw away all my winter clothes, and my first winter here was miserable because we get maybe 2 whole weeks of 40s and 50s temperatures that are quite cold. So you do need to make sure that you have some cold gear because sometimes it will get cold. Are there any local festivals or community events throughout the year? Yes, St. Augustine hosts numerous festivals and events, such as the Nights of Lights during the holiday season at the end of the year and through into the new year. The St. Augustine Film Festival, the Seafood Festival, Florida Man Games, various food festivals. We had the Food and Wine Festival. We had the Sing Out Loud Festival, various country music festivals. I think there was Country Fest last year. We have tons and tons of festivals almost and then we had Chowder Fest. That was so fun. I loved that. I made a video about that. What are the best restaurants and dining options in St. Augustine? The dining scene in St. Augustine is divine. It is diverse. It ranges from fresh seafood at local eateries like the Columbia, River and Fort, and Harry's, such popular spots like Osteen's or the Ice Plant and Fish Camp are really nice. There are so many nice places to go. Prohibition Kitchen, PK's Roosevelt Room, beautiful places downtown because of all the historic architecture. But I've got to admit that the views that you receive downtown sometimes might be better than the actual food. So you're definitely paying for the ambiance. I wouldn't go so far as to say that we have the 5-star Michelin dining down here. I went to the Saint downtown, and it's one of the new Italian restaurants downtown. There's actually not very much Italian restaurants downtown at all. But the new Saint that opened up, I got the veal chop from there, and it was like a veal chop scallopini. It was really confusing because as an Italian, that's not what I was expecting. But it was still yummy, like it tasted good and all that, but I'm not sure I would have expected, if I knew that that's what I was getting. There was like a giant chop and they beat it into a mashed up piece of veal chop, which is not average using the scallopini method on chop. But anyways, it was all right. It was all right. So you'll never know what you're going to come across when you go dining because, again, what you pay for mostly downtown here are going to be the views. And then eventually, if you do find a dish that you really, really love, then that's great. There's a place that's called the Floridian downtown, and it's a popular place because of, again, it's a really nice restaurant and the building is cute. But honestly, every time I get the food down there, I'm always disappointed. But they do have really good cocktails. So if you're looking to spend $20 on a drink, then you're going to be visually satisfied at the Floridian. But how accessible are healthcare services and facilities in St. Augustine if you are looking for a place that needs more healthcare? Flagler Hospital is down here, and we do offer a wide range of services through Flagler Hospital. There are also numerous clinics and urgent cares and rehabs, and there's the place that I'm trying to think of. I think it's called the Reynolds Center or Reebok or something, starts with an R. Some sort of a rehab for occupational therapy is around here. And there are the St. Vincent's Ascension and Wolfson's Children's Hospital and Mayo Clinic out of Jacksonville. This is a really big area of the state to get really good health care. My father is actually down in the Tampa area and had to go down there and visit some sort of a cancer research center. I don't think it was the Mayo. It was something else. But either way, I was hoping that he would come up here because up here we do really good with medical. So I think that the healthcare in not just St. Augustine, but Northeast Florida, Jacksonville area is really good. Especially, I know that there are tons of really good doctors that live in Ponte Vedra. So if you are a doctor and you're looking to come around here, you might want to go to the Ponte Vedra area. Jacksonville Beach is a really great place for lots of doctors too. But what local services and utilities should I know about when moving here? The new residents should familiarize themselves with local utility providers like AT&T and Comcast. And for electric, we have Florida Power and Light, and internet services and water. We do have local water. The City of St. Augustine provides information on utility setup for new residents on their website. And when you do move here, I send out all that information as well, because we do have a couple of different options. But St. Augustine, St. Johns County does take care of its own utilities, like garbage and recycling and all that good stuff. We do have recycling here, so you should look forward to that. Special regulations. Are there any special regulations or differences about living in Florida compared to my current state? Depending on where you live, Florida has unique regulations regarding property taxes, insurance, real estate transactions in general. For example, Florida does not have a state income tax, which is another reason why I chose this state over other states. That could be a significant advantage for many residents, depending on where you're coming from, especially if you're coming from somewhere else that does have a state tax, like Massachusetts. Taxachusetts is what we like to call it. What transportation options are available in St. Augustine? In St. Augustine, you could always have, your own public transportation. We don't have a major public transportation system. Downtown is very walkable, but I'll be honest, my friend moved here from Brooklyn hoping that it would be more walkable, and she moved about 4 or 5 miles away from downtown. And when you're walking around in Florida, the roads become very long and it does get very hot here. So walking around in Florida is not super fun unless you're going somewhere. But I mean, if you love walking, then that's fine. But mostly it'd be like you walking around like a parking lot. So especially with many residents using personal vehicles, or rideshare options like Uber and Lyft, those are available. There is the Sunshine Bus. So we do have the Sunshine Bus, and that is a service that is available. And how could I find a reliable moving company or storage solution? I can assist you with recommendations for reputable moving companies and storage facilities. I actually have a buddy who's one of the coaches of my son's football team who owns a moving company. It's essential to read the reviews and possibly get quotes from multiple providers to make sure you know that you're getting exactly what you need. I know that when I was getting some quotes for some other services and you compare them apples to apples, you turn into apples and oranges where somebody's offering something for one service, but then they don't offer something else, or they'd be charging you for something that you don't even need. So make sure that when you're looking at different services and quotes that you know exactly what they're charging you for, because you don't want somebody to be charging you transportation costs on something that you're not going to be moving, or vice versa, not charging you for transportation costs, and then making sure that you know that everything that is going to be happening is something that you already got quoted for. Because when you're moving around, there are a lot of things to keep an eye on, and there are going to be a lot of additional expenses. So what resources are available for newcomers that need help when settling in? There are various resources available, including the local community groups on social media. There are so many Facebook pages for St. Augustine and moving to St. Augustine, websites like meetup.com for events, and my services to help you find information on schools, utilities, and neighborhoods. If you have any specific questions, just feel free to reach out to me, because when I moved here, I had so many questions and wanted everything to be done, because when you move, you get so confused and there are 1,000 things to think about. Like, where is all my stuff going to go? Where did I put all my stuff? Do I have all my stuff? Do I have stuff that I need? Do I need more stuff? Is the house that I'm buying move-in ready? If it's not move-in ready, what do I have to do to make it move-in ready? Is there additional stuff going on in the house that I need to be aware of? What is going on inside the house? What is going on inside the neighborhood? Is there any kind of painting that needs to get done before you move in there? When I bought this house here, it was in really great condition and it was move-in ready, but I still wanted to repaint the whole thing. So when I moved into my new house, I was able to give myself 2 weeks to close in the house before I had to move in. And I had 2 weeks to repaint and do anything that I wanted to do to the house. And that was plenty of time because I was able to hire 2 people that helped me paint the house, and they did most of the work, but I kind of wanted to do it myself because I'm a doer and I like doing my own stuff. So I hired a couple, a man and a woman, who I found on Facebook, and they were great. And they just charged me $40 each per hour that they were here working with me. And I really enjoyed their company, and they taught me how to paint properly. And so I was able to learn from them and also get my house repainted. So it was actually perfect. Couldn't have gone any better. And in my last house, if you're preparing to sell your house, you want to make sure that your house is move-in ready, because if it's not, you're going to get lowball offers because people are going to be like, oh no, there's a light bulb out. I want a $10,000 discount. It's insane, the things that people imagine that are wrong with the house after only one thing is wrong with it. And people will see things that you'll never even notice. So if you can have a third party, sort of non-biased individual come over to help you out, that can help you out sometimes too, because then you have less emotion. Some of that emotion that you can have towards that buying process can distract you. It can be a little bit distracting if you get a little bit too emotional. So I'm not saying don't be emotional, but I'm saying that what you should do is try to get people that can help you be more objective and less subjective So the more that you're able to get people to give you advice and help you get different perspectives on the buying or the selling process, that can help you. One of the main reasons why I became a realtor was because during my own buying process, I felt like my realtor wasn't very helpful and it was frustrating. So I was like, why don't I know this? Why don't I know this? Why don't I know this? I would think that purchasing a house isn't that hard. You know, you like go buy a car, it's not that hard. You could buy a car, sometimes you mess up. I remember when I was like 16 and I got my first car, my mom and I went to go buy a car, and we bought a car from some old man, and he was selling the car on his own, and the car had been sitting in his house driveway or front yard or something for like 10 years, and we thought that was a good thing. We were like, oh wow, so it's got low miles, all right. So it was 2002 and it was a 1984 car and it had 40,000 miles on it. So we thought, oh great, it's got 40,000 miles, so it's low mileage, right? Because I was looking for a cheap car, but I wanted low miles because I thought that if it had low miles and it hadn't been driven, then it would be in better shape. But sometimes actually having a car with higher miles that has been driven more is actually going to be better. So I bought this car for $2,200 in 2002, and it was a 1984 Lincoln Mark VI, and it had 40,000 miles on it, but it had been sitting in this guy's yard for God knows how long. And when we got the car, I had to go get it registered and insured and everything. And my mom was like, oh, let's go take it to this mechanic place on the Air Force Base and see if somebody can fix this car for us. And this guy was like, oh yeah, I'll take a look at it. And it was weird. The garage was not a place where mechanics were just employed. It was an Air Force Base mechanic area where people could go bring their own car and use the Air Force Base mechanic tools on their cars. So when I had this guy that was supposed to help me with my car, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And honestly, I think that my mom had hired that guy without me, and like I didn't even talk to this guy. I don't remember seeing this guy at all. Anyways, but he ended up I spent $600. He charged me $600 to clean out the engine. So he cleaned out the engine and told me there was a dead squirrel inside the engine. So I wouldn't have known that unless I had a mechanic look at it, right? So when you're looking at a house and then you go, oh yeah, it looks great, whatever, you end up getting like the realtor, the inspector, the appraiser, the insurance, all these things come together, the title company, the attorney. There are a lot of people that need to make sure that you're buying a good house. And as a matter of fact, when I bought my first house back in 2013 up in Massachusetts, my realtor got me a warranty on the house. And I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. But she told me, hey, make sure if anything happens to the house, call the warranty company and see if they'll cover it for you. And I'm like, that is insane, because it was not a new house. So like it wasn't a brand new house. I didn't know houses had warranties. So then I found out that houses could have a warranty. You could buy a warranty on your house at any time. You can go ahead today. Go buy a warranty on your house today if you want. So I had a house warranty, and when I moved into my house, it came with everything the house needed, which was really great because some houses don't come with the appliances. You know, some houses don't come with the washer and the dryer. One house that I just sold didn't come with the washer and the dryer. But then I moved into my new house. I was using my washer and my dryer, and my dryer started making this crazy noise. It was just terrible. Just squeaking nonstop. So I ended up calling my realtor, or I think I just told her in passing because I didn't even think to complain about it, you know? I was like, oh crap, well I got this house now and like everything that comes with it, whatever. But now I got the squeaky dryer, But my realtor was one of the instructors that worked at the gym that I was working at too, because I was a yoga teacher at this gym on the weekends. And she was teaching the step class right before my yoga class. So I would go in there and she would be leaving. So that's how I met her. And when I went in to the class right after I bought the house, my dryer's being all stupid. And I walked in, started complaining to her. She's like, well, call the warranty company. And I was like, what? And I did. And they gave me a credit of like $500 or something to buy a new dryer. That was amazing. That was amazing. So now for all my customers, I get warranties for my customers on their houses. And as a matter of fact, my customers that just bought that house from me in April, they're from Maine. And one of the things that they are not going to be very excited about is going to be like the hot heat in the height of the summer. Because in Maine, you get like one heat wave a year for a few days. Like if you get 3 days of 90 degrees, you're like, God damn, this is a heat wave. Oh my gosh. But so in Florida, we have a heat wave that is called, May through October. And it's going to be 90 degrees pretty much every day. Not all day long, but for a good amount of it. So my new customers that just moved here from Maine definitely want to make sure that they have an air conditioner that works well, right? And I want to make sure that I am the one that gets them everything that they need. And I want to make sure also that they're not mad at me when they move into their house. Like if I moved into my first house and then I walked into my yoga class and I saw Ellen, I'm like, oh my God, Ellen, I can't believe my dryer broke and I just bought this house. My life savings just went into this house and now I have to buy a fucking dryer. Are you kidding me? So I know how it feels. I have empathy. And I don't even have to fake it because I've been there. So I've been there. I don't want to be there again. I don't like the way it feels. I don't want other people to feel that way. I want other people to feel good about buying the house of their dreams here in Florida. I want people to feel good about using me as their realtor. And I want to be the person that can help you be on the offense and be looking out for your own best interests and having that perspective to know Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And as a matter of fact, so I was just talking about the couple in Maine. They bought the house just recently. And for some reason, my spidey senses were tingling a week before we closed. And I wanted to do my walkthrough a week in advance because usually I'll do it like a day or two before we close. But honestly, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do it in advance because I want to just make sure that nothing pops up. And I went there and the air conditioner was not working. I was like, oh no. So then I texted my broker because I was like, oh God, what do I do? Do I immediately start attacking my seller agent and tell them that the air conditioner is not working? And they go, no, just see if you can go back tomorrow or another time just to verify that it's not working. And I was like, all right. So I went back. It was not working. So then I set the air conditioner for a good temperature to make it nice and cold in that house and planned to come back in another 3 hours to see what had happened and to make sure that it was working. I did return and it was not working. So I had then contacted the seller agent and said, yo, dude, this is not working. We got a problem here. Houston, we got a problem. So I did, and she immediately snapped to it and had the air conditioner looked at that evening, and they fixed it that night. But then we closed a few days later. We'll say 5 days later, okay? And then another week or two goes by, and I hear again the air conditioner is not working. Oh God, don't hate me, please. I'm not trying to sell you a bad house, right? I have nothing to do with it. But I said, don't worry, We got you the home warranty, so call the home warranty company. We'll get that squared away for you in a jiffy. I have that stuff. I emailed them the information. I texted them the phone number. I texted them the account number. They texted me back a day later. Thank God we had that warranty. That was so clutch. I'm so happy. And I'm like, dude, if you had to like spend your life savings on a house and 1 week later have to pay another $12,000 for a new air conditioner, like I would feel bad. I would feel bad. Okay? I don't want that. I want happiness and all that good stuff. So I'm so happy that that worked out. And, ooh, check out Friendship Park. This is in Jacksonville. This is a beautiful fountain. They light it up at night sometimes here, too. I like coming here. This is really fun to watch. You can see it from the highway, too. And especially at night, you can see it all illuminated, different colors. Sometimes they do events here. It's really pretty. Jacksonville's really nice. Jacksonville's huge. Jacksonville is the largest landmass city in the whole country, and it has tons of awesome stuff. This Friendship Park right here is actually right next to the Museum of Science, which we call MOSH, Museum of Science and Health or something. I don't know what the H stands for, but I think that you're looking at the MOSH, Museum of Science, right over there in between those little buildings, that little lighter colored one that's a little bit circular and shorter, but it's right near Friendship Park. And Friendship Park just reopened recently, so you guys should definitely go check it out because it's getting renovated. They're doing lots of renovations over there. They might have a splash pad over there. I think they have a splash pad over there too, and that was getting renovated, so I've never seen the splash pad, but we have so many awesome parks around here. Friendship Park, Tree Park, I love. On the island, we have Ron Parker Park and Windswept Park on the island also. If you ever go down to Palm Coast, there's Johnson Park, I want to say. I forget the name of it, but I want to say it's Johnson Park. That one's a beautiful park. It's really awesome. Holland Park, James Holland Park is what it is in Palm Coast. So, and also in Palm Coast, you can visit the European Villages. That's a really nice place. They have tons of restaurants down there, and they have live bands down there. In St. Augustine, you can always check the live bands down at like the Colonial Oak Park, Colonial Oak, and the Wednesdays at the Pier right now for the summer music series. Every Wednesday night, there's going to be a band playing live at the pier near the volleyball courts, and there's like a gazebo over there right across from Salt Life, and I just love this whole place. So please come visit St. Augustine. You'll fall in love. I fell in love without even knowing about it. As a matter of fact, I almost moved here when I was in college because I actually got into Jacksonville University for their aviation operations flight school program, as well as the same program in Embry-Riddle University down in Daytona. So I feel like I was destined to be here, and I just got here late. But now I'm here, and I'm ready to make this my forever home. I absolutely love it. And if you're looking to sell, please let me know too, because I know some people that are looking to buy. And if you know anything about buying and selling, it's all about right place, right time. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So if you just let me know that you're thinking about selling your property, or if you know anybody that is, just reach out and we can get some irons in the fire to see if we know anybody that knows anybody that wants to help you get some help. Okay? So help me, help you, help me with my business. All right? For a good bye, Shah. All right? We are going to have a good time here in St. Augustine or Vegas or wherever. And this is my buddy who purchased from me one time, and maybe he will again. That would be cool. We'll see you in the very near future. If you're looking into investing or just learning more about real estate, I'm happy to talk about it all day long. I love looking at houses, looking at properties, doing research, talking to people, meeting with people, learning about what you've been up to. It's fun for me. So let's do it. I'll see you soon. Come on down to St. Augustine, where we live the dream on the scene. Bye.